Twisted Sister had spent 10 years delighting and deafening audiences in and around New York. But by the summer of '81, they still didn't have a record deal, and it seemed like they never would.
We had sold out the Palladium, played a lot of big shows, still couldn't get signed. The list of turndowns where, you know, just, we don't want you guys, you're a joke, was amazing.
We really got to the point where I think we were about to pack it in.
In the fall of '81, manager Mark Puma decided to make one last push to find a label to sign the sisters, even if it meant crossing the Atlantic.
I went to England and made some connections, and finally, a small independent label in England wanted the band. Secret Records.
It's funny that it was called Secret Records because it pretty much was a secret.
It was really just the last-ditch effort after being rejected by every American record company like 5 times. It really was our last hope.
In July of '82, Twisted Sister flew to Britain. Within a matter of days, they recorded their first album, Under the Blade. The raw release quickly made the cut with London's hard rock underground. But more mainstream crowds weren't quite sure what to make of the sisters. At a music festival in Reading, England, in August '82, the band was abruptly bombarded by a barrage of food, bottles, and cans.
We were getting a lot of things thrown at us. And it's coming up and it's like, oh man, don't come, no, don't come this way. And tomatoes, peaches, cucumbers. I could have made a salad.
We're all standing there just going, damn, we had never experienced stuff being thrown at us at that level.
They had guts. I don't think I would have had those kind of guts. And, you know, people spit, and those world-class spitters, those people can spit, man. For distance and accuracy. It's good hawk.
After dodging spit and salad fixings for most of the set, a Scottish roadie named Big John made a disgusting discovery.
Big John goes, man, you see someone threw a piece of shite. And I'm like, what? He goes, they threw a piece of shite, man. They threw a piece of shite. And we're going, what? And one of the English guys who understood it, he said, translate, he goes, hey, man, someone threw a piece of shit at you.
And it wasn't rubber. You know, I mean, yeah, Ozzy got hit with a rubber bat. This was a real piece of shit.
And I'm sitting there going, how mad do you have to be to throw shit? I mean, and where do you get the shit? There's 30,000 people. It isn't like, oh, there's some shit. I mean, did he make the shit? And then how mad do you gotta be to actually shit, then pick it up, steaming hot, and hurl it at a band?
In December '82, the band returned to the U.S. for a holiday break. But the sisters got a lump of Christmas-time coal when word reached them that Secret Records had gone belly up.
I remember thinking, okay, I get it. It is over. It is really over.
We've got no income. The whole band has no income. And that was in the winter, and it was dark. It was a dark, cold winter, and probably the most dire times for Twisted Sister.
Straight for the heart, baby.
Once again, Twisted Sister was hanging on by a fingernail. They had one last appearance scheduled back in England, a live gig on a television program called The Tube. The group felt it was their last chance to salvage their career.
Good evening! Welcome to The Tube on Channel 4! We are Twisted Sister!
It was live TV, and we went out on stage, and people heard of us. At this time, we were a buzz, but most people hadn't seen us. We went out, came out with the makeup, the full show, and people were horrified. Their jaws were on the ground.
I think you got a little hang-up, some of you people. I think there's some people out there who can't take Twisted Sister because of the way we look. That's the problem, isn't it now?
I'm working a crowd, and I can't get the audience going. So Finally, I said, you know what? Is it the makeup? I said, is that what's bothering you?
So we gotta take the makeup off now, don't we?
And I grab a towel, and in one thing, I wipe off all my makeup. And I said, now what's stopping you?
Is that the problem, man? I got too much makeup on, man. You can't take me seriously. I'm not crazy enough for you.
Dee is insulting everybody and screaming and shouting at them and cussing them out. And the audience is loving it, and they are going nuts.
Phil Carson was a senior exec for Atlantic Records in Europe. Having signed AC/DC and Yes, he was a legend in the rock business.
So at the end of the set, the manager says, what do you think? He says, I said, well, I'll sign them. I don't want to meet them. Have you seen them? Who wants to meet a group that looks like this? I'll sign them, but, you know, it's going to be a very, very inexpensive deal. We'll make the record, that's it.
So that was the stipulation of that contract. He wants to sign us, and we're going to make lots of albums, but he does not want us over his house.
Twisted Sister finally had a major label record deal. Now all they had to do was convince people that they deserved it. Next, the sisters take on the law.